we go. So remember, every time we get to whatever that is, 70 whatever, look up, and you're playing unless you see me give you a 2. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and...
Welcome. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Good evening. I'd like to introduce Dover Selectman John D. Jeffries and Sherborn Selectman Charles Yon for our greeting.
Good afternoon, Superintendent McAuliffe, Headmaster Smith, District Chairman Mrs. Graham, honored guests, members of the dais, student representatives, family and friends, graduates of the class of 2017. This afternoon I have the pleasure of doing two things. One has to do with diplomas very shortly. First, as selectman from Dover, to welcome our guest, our families and friends, by saying thank you. Thank you to Dana White, to Michael Lee, and our elected school committee members, our many coaches, teachers, and administrators, central office managers, building department leaders, to the staff who run the daily operations of our schools. To thank the members of all the parent-run boards and clubs, from parent-teacher organizations to the Snack Shack, to after-school aides, to search committee members. Specifically to thank the many parents who served with me on the board of DSEF, the three people I served with as co-presidents, Mike Ryan, Ron Arrigo, Eric Burt. To thank the boosters, their leadership, Bill Scatchard, Christopher Robbins. To all the moms, dads, and grandparents who helped coach you from youth sports through high school, a sincere thank you. Additionally, in my capacity as selectman, I'm asked to remind everyone, our graduates represent our biggest asset, education. The majority of your tax dollars goes to our schools. Today, we get to honor the results. Finally, to publicly thank Regional District Chairman Claire Graham and the members of her committee for their leadership and commitment. You run an elite district and you produce the best and the brightest. So on behalf of the Board of Selectmen, our chairman, Candace McCann, Robin Hunter, and the town of Dover, congratulations. We are very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm here on behalf of the Sherborn Board of Selectmen, and I'm pleased to have this opportunity to congratulate all of the graduates, their families, and the DS faculty and staff. And I promise you I'll be brief. My 4 children all graduated from DS, and I know how long and fulfilling these graduation ceremonies can be. The towns of Sherborn and Dover, your families, this outstanding faculty and staff, and you have all invested a lot of time, resources, and effort to provide all of you with an excellent high school program and preparation for your lifelong education. So I'll be brief. 2 pieces of advice. First, use your talents and education. As an iconic comedian of my generation said, 80% of success is showing up. And I think a lot of us can affirm that from our own workplaces. Thomas Edison, the holder of over 2,300 patents and was considered an inventive genius, said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." So get ready to perspire. Whatever path you choose, understand that you reach your destination one step at a time, so keep at it each day, every day. Pursue your goals and pursue them with passion. And last, I did promise you I'd be brief. Dr. Spock, the famous intergalactic Vulcan philosopher and real-life former resident of Cambridge, advised you, live long and prosper. So on behalf of the town of Sherborn and its Board of Selectmen, sincere congratulations to all of the Dover-Sherborn class of 2017.
Good evening. My name is Lee McFarland and I'm senior class president. First, I'd like to say that it is an honor speaking with you all today. I honestly can't believe that it's been 4 years already. 4 years ago, I was a timid, quiet, and shy freshman, excited to begin this journey called high school. Okay, so perhaps I wasn't shy, quiet, or timid. In fact, I was very loud and boisterous, but I was very excited to begin this new chapter in my life. As a freshman, I wasn't sure what to expect from high school. According to High School Musical, there'd be extravagant and spontaneous sing-alongs, and I should be prepared for a dance solo. However, Degrassi portrayed high school as full of drama that consisted of dramatic locker slams and lots of crying. So I kind of just hoped DS would be in the middle. Maybe we sang, but maybe we cried. And it turned out we did a lot of both. Thankfully, high school was full of pleasant surprises, and most importantly, many lessons learned. Here at DS, I was able to enjoy some of my best memories and also some of my greatest challenges. I think most of my classmates would agree that no, this wasn't exactly a walk in the park. The AP test proved that. But I think they would agree that DS is a special place. This place is where everyone was welcomed, a place that allowed us to fail without judgment, a place that encouraged us to do the right thing all of the time. I think we can all agree, even if some of my classmates have to dig real deep, that they will miss Dover-Sherborn Regional High School. Personally, I've enjoyed a lot of success at Dover-Sherborn, but that success is not entirely my own. There have been a lot of people that have dedicated a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of strength into making sure I could become the best person I knew how to be. I owe many people many thank yous. So I'll start right now. To my mother, the first person to tell me I could do anything, the first person to teach me how to walk with my head high, and the first person to tell me, you can. I want to thank you. And to my father, the first person to show me that it is okay to make everything out of nothing. You taught me how to pat myself on the back if no one was there to do it for me. You showed me what it looks like to see the good and all of the bad. And again, I thank you. And to my wonderful teachers, you taught me to find the meaning in everything. and to never stop using my head. And for that, I thank you all. You had to put up with me for 4 years, and again, I thank you. And to the DS family sitting out into the crowd, you have opened your homes and your hearts to me, and you were able to make a community for me away from my home. And I'm forever grateful, and to you, I thank you. And to my MECO classmates, we shared this journey together, beginning with that big yellow school bus that picked us up on the corner of Geneva Ave, 27 miles from here, to take us to a faraway place where we can get the best education. We shared 12 years of laughs, 12 years of cries, and 12 years of getting on our parents' nerves. And to that, I thank you all. I thank you, Imani, I thank you, Jasmine, and I thank you, Abdel, and I thank you, Princess in the crowd. Right now, we're staring off into the horizon that is our future. The rest of our lives begin from this moment. Although all of us will go off to pursue different and incredible destinies, I know that each and every single one of us will have something amazing to contribute to this world. We have been gifted the tools to create a world that not only our parents can be proud of, but a world that our children can be proud of. I challenge you all, my classmates, to see the good in anything, even when everything appears to be impossible. I challenge you all to stand strong in your beliefs and to do good no matter the circumstances. Before I sit down, I want to leave my classmates with the words of my favorite poet, Warson Shire. The sun is perfect, and you woke up this morning. You have enough language in your mouth to be understood. You have a name, and someone wants to call it. 5 fingers on your hand, and someone wants to hold it. If we start there, everything, for a moment, is right in this world. We did it. Congratulations to the class of 2017. And now a selection by our a cappella group, DS Coda.
Looking back on when I was a little curly-headed boy, then my only worry was for Christmas what would be my toy. Even though we sometimes would not get a thing, we were always happy with the joy the day would bring. Sneaking out the back door to hang out with those hoodlum friends of mine. Greeted at the back door, but boy, thought I told you not to go outside. Trying your best to bring the water to your eyes, hoping it might stop her from a whooping you're behind. I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? 'Cause I love him so. Da-doo, 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 da-doo. Da-doo, 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 da-doo. Brother said he's telling about you playing doctor with that girl. Just don't tell and I'll give you anything you want in this whole wide world. Mama gives you money for Sunday school. You You trade yours for candy after church is through. Smoking cigarettes and writing something nasty on the wall. You nasty boy. Teacher sends you to the principal's office right down the hall. You grow up and learn that kind of thing ain't right. But when you were doing it, it sure found out of sight. I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? 'Cause I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? 'Cause I love them so. Da do da do da do da do da do da do. Da do da do da do 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 do. Da do da do da do da do da do do. Da do da do da do 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 do.
Now I'd like to introduce Samuel Morris Hartley, Dana Cott-Rice, and Caroline Dwyer, as they are our Declamation finalists.
Good evening, graduating seniors, parents, faculty members, students, and invited guests. A school reveals itself not only by the students it produces, but also by the students it honors. Today, we are here to honor and celebrate the achievements of the graduating class of 2017. It's safe to say it's been a long 13 years journey, but somehow, some way, we have managed to stick together and make it to here. And if you ask me, we should get a diploma just for surviving. But in reality, we did more than survive. We thrived. We challenged the limitations and exceeded them both in and outside the classroom. It's scary to think how fast this has all gone by and how we are now headed off into the real world. Elementary school feels like just yesterday, when our greatest worry was whether or not we would get 20 minutes of worth of homework. And I still think we should have recess in high school. Then came middle school, which was a big leap for us. We were no longer just Sherborn or Dover, but we became Dover-Sherborn. And I must say, it is pretty crazy to think I can't even tell who's from which town anymore. And I mean, who could forget Treasure Island, the classic gym game, and those awkward middle school dances? We ended those years with the Washington, D.C. trip, which was filled with late nights of mischief in the hotel rooms and some interesting folks from Saugus that we met on the boat cruise. I think my classmates can agree, though, middle school was not our peak. Aesthetically or emotionally, we just weren't there. And if you look at the photos, well, we looked pretty awful. But despite our appearance, we still managed to have fun. We then entered high school. And like the naive freshmen that we were, we learned quickly that freshmen were better off being seen rather than heard. But looking back on these past 4 years in high school, it's been all one big crazy ride that never seemed to stop. Not so long ago, we were freshmen having to memorize our lines from Romeo and Juliet, which, by the way, is a great way to impress that special somebody. Then the blurs of sophomore year, and then junior year, when we had to cue the dramatic music, write our junior position papers. I'd like to take a moment and apologize to our history teachers for having to read them. I must say, though, it wasn't until senior year during one of my AP Bio exams that I learned a valuable life lesson. When I got my test and opened it up, I knew nothing. Sorry, Mom and Dad. So instead, I decided to focus my efforts on the fish tank. I noticed a small little hermit crab climbing up some steep coral. And he almost reached the top, but he fell. And instead of quitting, he tried it again, this time successfully. And I realized in that moment, I might not finish my test. And more importantly, just like in life, everything doesn't always work out the first time. What we do after we fail, however, determines who we are a lesson I learned from that crustacean, a crab with dedication, heart, and resilience. Though we can take much of the credit for our success, none of this could have been possible without the help of our administrators and teachers, who have helped us every step of the way. I believe at DS we have something that I don't think most other schools have, and that's the ability to build a close relationship with our teachers. They are always flexible and willing to guide us when we go astray. They are easy to talk to and always enjoy shooting the breeze. I think I have learned just as much from talking to them as I have in the classroom. For example, I now know Miss Barrett's brownie recipe and Mr. Tucker's pulled pork recipe. There's a common theme I like to talk about if you haven't noticed. But coming away from it all now, they taught us more than just math or history. They taught us no matter what obstacle we encounter, there is always a way over, around, or through them. And for the procrastinators, a thing called an all-nighter. As we set off into the world and open a new chapter in our lives, we become the true narrators. Up until this point, others have been nudging us along, suggesting to us the paths we might take and the way we may walk them. But now, it's our turn to take hold. We have been given a special opportunity not many other people get, and that's a chance to make a positive change wherever we go. We have been taught the necessary skills to be leaders in our communities, to stand up and take action against injustices we encounter, and to develop the passion to help others wherever we go. But now what we do and how we achieve it, but we have also learned that what matters more than what we do is why we do it. The power of a single voice is much greater than we are led to believe. It has the ability to echo and create a ripple for change. And if you don't believe me and you think you're too insignificant, then you've never been in bed with a mosquito. This change won't happen overnight, though. It will require you to pull upon all that you have learned, and even then you might not be successful. We will no longer have safety nets to catch us when we fall, and no longer be surrounded by people who will focus solely on our success. Many of us will encounter hardships and be knocked down from time to time. But we have a choice. We can either learn to fail and bear the fruits of wisdom that come from making mistakes, or fail to learn. No matter what decision you make or path you decide to follow, remember, as Joyce Donato once said, one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself right here, right now, in this single solitary moment in your life, is to decide without hesitation to commit to the journey and not the outcome. I wish you all the best as you start your own journeys. Thank you.
All right, so I just won half the battle by not falling up the stairs, so we're good to go. If I wanted to, I could stand up here today and give you all a reassuring speech, quoting some brilliant philosopher about how each and every one of you has overcome adversity, that we are all amazing and are going to impact the world in some way or another. But for those of you who know me, should know by now that I will most definitely not be doing that. Instead, I hope to give you an honest speech about everything that I have witnessed and observed these past few years and what this means going forward. Those of you who heard my speech at 8th grade graduation may remember that I spoke about the importance of decision making and how in one of the over 100 million seconds that we have during our 4-year stay at DS, we can all decide to make the right or wrong decision. Now that we have gone through almost all of those seconds, for me only having about 500 seconds left to go, I thought it would be an opportune time to come up with a list of 17 rules, thoughts, observations, whatever you want to call them, for the class of 2017. So let's begin. 1, many people try to make others believe that they know what they are doing, when in reality, oftentimes we're all just pretending to know what's going on. So I guess this means my secret's out. We go through the motions, pretending we have our stuff together, when I know at one moment or another, we are all questioning our decisions. None of us want to show weakness or signs of confusion, but it's perfectly fine to not have it together, as the guy next to you most likely does not know what's going on and is doing his best to get by. Number 2, however, I have also learned that this does not mean we should always admit to being unsure. In order to maximize our ability to have some control over any situation and make people believe we know what is going on, we must prepare, prepare, prepare. Part of life is learning what we can control. Once we understand what we have the ability to control, we must take advantage of that opportunity by making others think we are confident in what we are saying and doing. Being able to do this requires practicing confidence and conviction. Whenever a curveball is thrown your way, you will allow yourself the potential to succeed. Even when you are not certain, have faith in the process. Have faith that everything will work out. Number 3, it does not matter how much the person next to you prepared, it matters how much you prepare. Just because someone may only need an hour to study for a test, prepare for an interview, or complete some other task does not mean you're going to need an hour as well. In high school, I would often hear the question, how long did it take you to study for the test? Someone would respond, only an hour, and that would then freak me out. So thanks, Mom, for always calming me down through my frantic texts. I've learned, though, that it does not need to stress me out, as this just means that each of us need our own amount of time to feel good about whatever material we are trying to master. Asking someone how long he or she needed to prepare is of no relevance to you. Don't worry about what other people are up to. Focus instead on what you need to do. Number 4, see people for who they are. People read their audiences well and know what to say in order to get a certain intended reaction, even if it means exaggerating. Take college Facebook groups, for example, where people post the prettiest pictures of themselves and write about their coolest traits, as they are trying to create an intended image. We should take the time to see who they are in action, to be wary of the labels that they may have created about themselves. When I tell people that I'm a Republican, many assume that I must side with Donald Trump and that I must believe in zero gun regulation. Well, none of these things are true. How silly is it that we try to reduce people to a single word? Take me, for example. Smart and witty don't even begin to cover it, right? But in all seriousness, understand the person instead of assuming the images that people create for themselves that are in fact reality. Number 5, coffee is the nectar of the gods. Caffeine will inevitably pull us through. Number 6, the system is rigged. Life is not fair. Everyone at some point or another has life treat him or her unfairly. However, during those times when, you're in a group project and you do all the work and the other person still gets all the accolade, it may be really hard to realize that life can also be pretty darn fair. While there are always times when it seems like life will not go your way, it can also be pretty amazing. What you give it is what you get out of it. Number 7, the only thing that we can do to have some control over unfairness is to work hard, work effectively, and work efficiently. Sheriff Peter Katusian of Middlesex County often says, the harder you work, the luckier you are. Sometimes, though, hard work will only take you so far. You have to know what you are doing. The successful ones are those that know who they are and what they are capable of, and who are aware of their limitations and are willing to ask for help. Such people create their own luck. Number 8, don't settle. Try and make your situation better. Complaints interfere with action, so if there's a problem, fix it. After hearing a series of complaints about a variety of topics, I texted my brother Grant with my frustrations. In his older brother fashion, he texted me back, okay, so let me get this straight. You're not allowed to complain about going to high school because there are billions of uneducated women in the world who would be grateful for your level of education? Give me a break. Everyone always tries to improve his or her current conditions. That's how you advance society, not by being stagnant and complacent. There will inevitably be some sort of problem, but it's important that we then find a solution. When there is bad, we should try to make it good. When there is good, we should try to make it better. And unless you want the good to be bad, then I really just can't help you. Number 9, getting your license means 3 things. 1, you are going to spend a lot more money. 2, it's mostly going to be on food and Starbucks. And 3, this means you're gonna gain weight. Number 10, use your words carefully. Be careful when you say I have to versus I need to versus I want to. No, you do not need new sneakers. And no, you don't have to go to school. These are things that you want or are privileged to have. Another word that you should be careful with is saying sorry. I have a tendency to say sorry to everything, even if it is the chair next to me for accidentally bumping into it. Sorry is for times that you actually have regret and feel badly. If I use my words judiciously, when I do mean what I say, it has that much more of an impact. I am sure to my English teacher's delight, word choice matters. Number 11, it does not matter whether we are talking with a busboy or a chef, a teacher or a CEO, lawyers, sales associate, or grocery clerk. Everyone deserves the same level of respect and decency. 12, by showing everyone the same level of respect, you will establish relationships. As different people come into your life, it is important to know who they are and why they are there, even if it's for reasons that you do not yet understand. Establish relationships that can benefit you in ways that you may be able to anticipate, in ways that you never even thought about. They could happen in the strangest of places, and you may not think that it pertains to what you want to do, but keep those business cards, write down those names, numbers, and emails, and remember to thank those people. And no, a text message does not suffice. You never know what connection is going to make the difference, so appreciate them all. Number 13, do not just thank, but appreciate. Actually appreciate all that you have around you, most importantly, the little things. To say thank you is something that you are saying in return for something, but appreciating is taking action and realizing how important what around you really is with sincerity. For example, it is well known in my family that my brother Christian enjoys simply sitting in a tree for hours on end, hunting in freezing temperatures. From so little, he gets so much. Some may think that this is crazy, including me, but it is clear that he is appreciating all that is around him simply for what it is. 14, while thanking our parents is important to do, we must also pay tribute to Netflix and the ability to binge watch any show, as this is what really got us through the past 4 years. Number 15, listen. How many of you have listened with half an ear open, your mind elsewhere, thinking about your response or what other people are saying or doing? Far too often when we are with our friends, we are thinking about other things. Instead, be present. 16, sometimes words just don't matter. Rather, just being there and listening is the best advice or best thing that you can do. While giving advice does have a time and place, also allowing a person to vent is sometimes all that person needs. I'll take this time to give a shout out to a certain group of faculty that stands outside the office every day during break for allowing me to basically just vent and storm off every single day, as they knew exactly what I needed. 17, and lastly, goals. For me, it can feel overwhelming to think about how I am going to reach some of my biggest dreams. However, in order for us to somehow achieve a big goal, breaking it up into smaller pieces allows us to see what we are actually doing along the path and journey. During that quest towards our goal, if we realize that it may not be meant for us, it is okay to stop and admit we don't know what we are doing. If or when something is pulling you the other way, and it may not seem like it's going to help you reach that goal, don't be stubborn, but allow yourself to deviate. As I think back on these 4 years, never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would have learned these 17 things. Because, well, these types of thoughts for adults, right? Well, however crazy it is to think, we are actually now adults. In just 4 years, each and every one of us has come into our own, realizing who we are and what type of people we want to be. While we have had to make really hard decisions throughout a variety of experiences, it has shaped us into who we are. You see, these 17 things that I have learned are probably not the same as your 17 rules. But whatever we have figured out, somehow we figured it out together. I know that I could not have done it without you. In closing, I want to say most sincerely to my family, teachers, administrators, and most of all to you, my classmates, the people who have taught me, been there for me, and of course somehow tolerated me, something simple from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I had a blast. Enjoy this night, because here we are.
I was also going to make a joke about not tripping up the stairs, but that seems to be a common theme today, so I will just get right to it. In my family, when we used to watch TV together at night, we would all sit in the living room, and most of the time, instead of watching some new episode of a TV show or a movie, we would always put on reruns of shows we had all already seen before, probably multiple times. There are definitely a few NCIS episodes I could recite line for line if I wanted to, but I'll spare you. It would aggravate my mother to no end that we were constantly rewatching shows, but for some reason, we never protested too much. There was always something comforting about watching reruns. Maybe it's just because I grew up with it, and maybe it's just something specific to my family, but it's something I actually enjoy. It's fun and exciting to watch something I've never seen before, but there was always something about reruns that brought me back to watching Scrubs episodes I'd seen 10 times already, which I am now tragically unable to do because it got taken off of Netflix, but I guess it's okay. Our family doesn't really watch reruns together anymore. We all have homework or real work or housework, so we all try to sit down together sometimes, but it's not the same as when we watch back-to-back episodes of 2.5 Men on Monday nights without a care in the world. Obviously, I am not standing in front of you to discuss the particulars of my family's TV watching habits. Thinking about how much we binge on past seasons of our favorite TV shows made me come to a conclusion about why we do it. We like knowing, and we like looking back. Two things that we seldom have the chance to do in our lives. We can't predict the future, and memories never seem to feel quite as satisfying as when we made them. We're then left to live in the present, but to obsess about the future, to move on into something unknown to us. That is the culture that we have fallen into, a world of what's next. Think about it. How often have you said to yourself that you just need to make it through this day, this week, this month, this semester? We live for what's next and never seem to enjoy what's now. As a freshman, I wanted out as soon as I got in. I wanted something beyond high school, to just skip over to college and the rest of my life. It didn't hit me until this year, my last one at this school, how much I was going to miss all of it. And suddenly everything felt like it was going too fast. I was a freshman, watching the seniors from 4 years ago take their final bows on the last night of Hello Dolly, and then I was up there taking my own with some of my closest friends from Pippin, trying not to sob and failing miserably. I was sitting in the locker room putting on pads for my first hockey practice ever, and the next day sitting in pain, a feeling that would become very, very familiar in the coming years. Thank you, Grout. And then I was sitting in my car, long after our final game this year, thinking that I was on my way to the gym and realizing that I had driven to the hockey rink purely out of habit and crying while pulled over on a side road because I would never get to play for my team again, one that had become like a second family to me. We don't get to watch the reruns of our lives. If we're lucky, we have good memories and good pictures, and that's what we are left with at the end of it all. I always had people telling me to enjoy what I had while I had it, and I thought that if I did, it would hurt less in the end, knowing that I had made the most of it all. But we're always going to look back thinking about what more we should have done when we didn't appreciate what we had at the time, because it is our societal curse to be constantly living in the future, in what's next. So I guess if I'm going to leave everyone here today with a message, it's going to be this. You do not get second chances in this life. You will make mistakes, but you'll get it right eventually. You will fail, and you'll have successes. You'll probably hit rock bottom, and you'll have peaking moments. You'll have some rough times, and you'll have some good times too, times you'll wish would last forever. None of this is permanent, and you are guaranteed nothing. So live a little, learn some spontaneity, enjoy yourself, and hold on to the special moments of your life until you have to let them go. Be grateful and be kind. When you look back, don't do it in regret, but in appreciation for what this world has given you. The story of your life will not be on Netflix for you to binge watch over and over again, so let go of what's past, stop fretting over the future, and simply enjoy where you are in the present. Thank you so much.
I'd now like to introduce Miss Ann Deaver-Keegan, our Assistant Headmaster, to present the Lonergan Award.
Good evening. On behalf of Headmaster John Smith, it is my honor and privilege to present the Lonergan Awards. The Lonergan Award is in honor of Denise Lonergan for 33 years of service to the Dover-Sherborn High School community. Presented annually to members of the senior class. One boy, one girl, active in the school community, in good academic standing, and possessing the following qualities: altruism, character, diligence, integrity, loyalty. This year's Lonergan Awards go to Alexandra Mateers and Jonathan Schroeder.
I'd now like to introduce the Dover-Sherborn Vocal Ensemble for their own personal selection.
Days when we'd fight till I was given. Yeah, perfect disaster. We were reaching for the rafters. Hey. And most of the days we were searching for ways to get up and get out of this town we were raised at, 'cause we were done. I remember we were sleeping in cars, we were searching for us, we were collecting scars with white plastic tips till we saw the sun. We said crazy things like,
I refuse to look back thinking days were better just because they're younger days. I don't know what's round the corner, but after the course it will never change.
back when we were kids, swore we would never die. You and me were kids, swear that we'll never I refuse to look back thinking days were better just because they're younger days. I don't know what's around the corner, the way I feel right now, I swear will never change. Back when we were kids, swear we would never die. You and me were kids, swear that we'll never die. Nights when we kept dancing, changing all our plans and making every day a holiday. Feel the years they're turning, turning. Something about this feels the same. Back when we were kids, swear we would never die. You and me were kids, swear that we never die. I refuse to look back thinking days were better just because they're younger days. I don't know what's round the corner, way I feel right now, I swear will never change. Back when we were kids.
I'd like to introduce Dover-Sherborn's interim superintendent, William H. McAuliffe Jr., to accept the class of 2017.
Thank you, Aaliyah. Good evening, all. What a glorious evening it is, and the best night of the school year by far. I have a few remarks before accepting the class, and I may be a little bit all over the place, so I apologize ahead of time, and I'll probably be repeating some of the words of previous speakers. I guess I prefer to refer to it as reinforcing some previous sentiments that have been spoken. First, I'd like to express a good evening to parents, grandparents, family, and friends. As it is for our graduates, tonight is also a special night for you. This evening's commencement exercises represent recognition of the love, support, and hard work you have expended throughout the years of your special graduate's life. Congratulations to all of you. A special good evening to faculty and staff. Thank you for your extraordinary dedication, passion, and commitment to all of our students, but most especially for your support and guidance to the class of 2017. We are all grateful for the important work you do each and every day. To our special guests gathered here on our stage, to Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Young, thank you for your participation and bringing official greetings and wise words from our two communities. I'd also like to thank and recognize the outstanding work of our concert band under the direction of Mr. Martell, our vocal ensemble under the direction of Mr. Herrmann, our DS a cappella group. All, thank you very much. Great work tonight. I want to give just a huge shout out to our declamation speakers, to Sam, Dana, and Caroline, providing us words of advice, words of wisdom beyond my years. I could never have done what you did tonight. What a fantastic job. Thank you very much. And a special thank you to our class president, Aaliyah McFarland. Not only for your poignant remarks, but for the great job you've done emceeing tonight's ceremonies. Thank you. To the Dover-Sherborn High School class of 2017, it is my pleasure, on behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of all four of our schools, to offer you our most heartfelt congratulations. As your headmaster, Mr. Smith, has reported, you are a very special group of graduates. Both as a class and individually, you have distinguished yourselves in the areas of academics, athletics, and the performing and visual arts. You have also distinguished yourselves through the various community engagement and service projects you have participated in, and perhaps most importantly, in the way that you have respectfully treated one another as classmates. And Mr. Smith has characterized you, the class of 2017, as a distinct class of purpose and integrity. Congratulations to you. All of the adults who have worked with you through all of your school years are proud of you and wish you the very best of good fortune and success as you continue your lives beyond the confines of Dover-Sherborn High School. Again, I offer you our collective best wishes and congratulations. Well done, class of 2017. And finally, as interim superintendent of schools, it is my most distinct honor and privilege to accept for graduation and the presentation of diplomas the Dover-Sherborn High School class of 2017. Diplomas will be presented by the chair of the Dover-Sherborn Regional School Committee, Claire Graham, and assisted by school committee members Michael Lee and Dana White. On with the show.
Here we go. Aaliyah Rosetta McFarlane. Richard Finn Cullen. Madeline Elizabeth Shue. Peter Eric Phelan. Virginia Rose Dacus.
Alexandra Dahl Martiros. Sarah Byrne Creer. Dana Cott Rice. Samuel Morris Hartley. Caroline Dwyer Whitaker.
Zachary Lee Abrams. Charles Patrick Allen. Meredith Haley Allen. James Richard Andrew. Catherine Francine Arrigo. Thomas Robert Arrigo. Marissa Elise Badeau. John Keith Bailey. Leah May Balmer. Ross Charles Barnard. Nicholas Evan Berry. Joseph Anthony Bennati. Caroline Ann Bennett. Robert Dixon Black. Evan William Blanchard. Nathan Dewitt Brace. Benjamin Eric James Brown. Hannah Jane Bruce. Amani Claudia Bruno Reeves. Paul Elias Buckley. John Robert Budd. Caroline Elizabeth Buress. Betsy Robinson Burt. Ainsley Elizabeth Caldecott. George Scott Shadowan. Samantha Ann Clancy. Jeremy Kyle Craig. Connor Daniel Crowley. Megan Antonia Seisler. John Louis Dakianis. Brooke Elizabeth Daly. Emma Kate Dangle. Annie DeBarros. Camilla Damasceno de Paula. Max Reyes de Souza. Catherine Evangela Devine. Christopher Mark Devine. Adrian Luke Bernard Dills. Alex John Dombrowski. Kelvin Martin Donahue. Sean Lawrence Doherty. Peter James Doyle. Olivia Nicole Aiton. Tariq Robert El Hilali. Rachel Margaret Falb. Nicole Mary Fiore. Jason Harris Fish.
Kaylee Kathleen Foster. Jasmine Yolanda Francis. Emmanuel Abigail Freed. John Vincent Fulton. Robert Fulton III. Paige Newton Gallagher. Alice Donghui Galley. Elizabeth Grace Gardner. Carly Deramar Giacchetti. Anush Arev Jigarjan. Harry Simon Godine. Elizabeth Dorothy Gooch. Chloe Fisher Grace. Thomas Kevin Michael Graham. Anne Shields Green. Sally Beatrice Green. Hunter Lee Gregory. Zachary Mark Gustafson. Hamilton Scott Hackney. Rachel Elizabeth Hall. Ashley Marie Hanlon. Emma Louise Hanmer. Samuel Matthew Hennessy. Annabelle Jane Hudson Walker. Jonathan Anthony Giffier Holland. Audrey Gray Hughes.
Sophie Elizabeth Hunter. John Michael Jeffries. Allie Elizabeth Jordan. Will Cardi Caddison. Maya Rose Kaplan. Hannah Elizabeth Caveney. Olivia Desanye Keefe. Douglas Edward Keene. Sophia Louise Keogh. Lauren Waylon Kinchla. Anna Wynn Cott. Emily Jane Coverlia. Bailey Hume Laidman. Noah Reed Lawrence. Hannah Catherine Lee. Eric Douglas Levine. Chuchao Liang. Michael Robert Lytle. Hannah Abigail Lothrop. Andrew Jackson Mahoney. Charles David Mandel. Eliza Grace Martin. Lucas William Martiros. Winnabelle Balfour McCabe. Mark Paul McVeigh. Julia Natasha Medoff. Sasha Hope Mehmet. Hannah Elizabeth Meyer-Winkler. Isabel Morgan Morrison. Margaret Elizabeth Maruzzi. Colin Joseph Murray. Jennifer Ann Much. Nicholas Mark Newman. Lucia Giovanna Nicastro. Scott Brooks Nichols. Seth Evan Novich. Madeline Marie Nystrom. Gavin Joseph O'Connell. Isabella Bianca Franson Oliva. Robert Avery Orcutt. Elizabeth Esther Owen. Joseph Scott Pilato. Louis Gabriel Perzo. Allison Victoria Pastore. Henry Michael Pass. Adam Exery Pollock. Jacqueline Rose Pope. Elizabeth Ann Chinwang. Caroline Cray Quinn. Henry James Reinhardt. Sawyer Laurel Robbins. Paxton Allen Roper. Sienna Aurora Askins Rush. Abdel Stefan St. Paul. Alexandra Wynne Scatcherd. Jonathan Bailey Schroeder. Tyler John Sebastian. Jolie Margaret Silverman. Catherine Louise Sinclair. Ryan Bradley Slowinski. Margaret Alice Spence. Hayden Victoria Stewart. Justin Michael Sullivan. Gregory Michael Tiss. Luke David Turo. Sophie Michelle Van Riet. Owen Philip Webb. Emma Boland White. James Andrew Wright. Charlie Wu. Daniel Gongbo Yang.
Eli Nathan Yasuna. Sabrina Michelle Zekas. Michelle Fan Zhang.
Okay, guys, like I said, like I practiced, right to left. I now present to you, ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2017.
have to go back. Stands have to go back in. Percussion too, if you could make the second trip. If you're a jazz band member, please either leave your music on my desk or give it to a concert band member so I can clear that stuff up tomorrow. I think from now on they should use your blues name. Would you?